the Los Angeles Dodgers secured a hard-fought 4-3 victory over the New York Mets, a game decided by a walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth inning. This intense matchup, played out under the bright lights of Dodger Stadium, added another tense, single-run chapter to one of baseball's most enduring rivalries. The win pushed the Dodgers further ahead in the National League West standings, solidifying their position at the top, while the Mets now face a steeper climb in the competitive NL East. This particular contest, a true test of nerve and strategic depth, was a microcosm of their long-standing history. Tight, fiercely contested, and ultimately, a battle where every pitch and every at-bat carried immense weight. Fans who tuned in to watch Mets versus Dodgers were treated to exactly what they expected from this storied rivalry: a relentless back-and-forth struggle that kept them on the edge of their seats until the very last pitch. The stakes were clear from the first pitch, with both teams acutely aware of the implications a series win would have on their respective seasons and playoff aspirations. The Dodgers' bullpen, often a point of concern earlier in the season, held firm when it mattered most, showcasing a newfound resilience and depth in high-leverage situations. The Mets, despite a valiant effort that saw them take the lead twice, couldn't find the tying run in the final frame, leaving runners stranded in crucial moments. This game will be remembered not for its offensive fireworks or dominant pitching performances, but for its late-game tension, the strategic decisions made by both managers under pressure, and the individual moments of brilliance and heartbreak that ultimately swung the outcome. It was a game that felt like a playoff preview, a true clash of titans where every inch was earned. The game's initial significant swing, the one that truly ignited the rivalry's spark in this particular contest, came in the top of the third inning. With the score knotted at 1-1, Mets leadoff hitter Brandon Nimmo stepped to the plate, facing Dodgers starter Gavin Stone. After working a full count, Nimmo connected with a fastball, launching a towering solo home run into the right field bleachers. The ball cleared the wall by mere feet, a testament to the precise timing and raw power he generated, sending a clear message across the diamond. This early shot immediately shifted momentum, momentarily silencing the usually boisterous home crowd at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers' starting pitcher, Gavin Stone, who had been cruising through the first 2 innings, striking out 3 and allowing only 1 hit, suddenly found himself trailing. Nimmo's blast served as a stark wake-up call, injecting a palpable urgency into the game and forcing Stone to recalibrate his approach. It was a classic rivalry moment, a star player delivering a clutch hit to put his team on the board first in a meaningful way, asserting their presence on enemy turf and challenging the home team's dominance. The Mets' dugout erupted in cheers, a clear signal of their intent to challenge the Dodgers on their home ground and dictate the pace of the game. The energy in the stadium, initially a low hum of anticipation, now had a sharp, competitive edge, as fans realized this would not be an easy night for either side. Stone, a young pitcher still finding his footing in the big leagues, quickly recovered his composure, striking out the next 2 batters to limit the damage and prevent further scoring. However, the message had been sent. The Mets were here to play, and they weren't going to be intimidated by the Dodgers' home field advantage or their formidable lineup. This single swing set the stage for the relentless back-and-forth battle that defined the rest of the contest, promising a game that would go down to the wire. The Dodgers wasted no time in answering Nimmo's early statement, demonstrating their own offensive prowess and resilience. In the bottom of the 4th inning, with Mookie Betts on first after a leadoff walk, Freddie Freeman stepped into the batter's box. On a 2-1 count, Freeman unleashed a powerful swing, lining a double into the right center field gap. Betts, known for his aggressive base running and speed, rounded second and sprinted towards home plate, challenging the Mets' outfield arm. The throw from the Mets' right fielder was strong, but arrived a fraction of a second too late, allowing Betts to slide in safely, tying the game once again at 2-2. The Mets' defense, typically a strong suit, couldn't make the crucial play to prevent the run, a rare lapse in an otherwise tight game. This immediate and decisive response from the Dodgers showcased their ability to counterpunch, refusing to let the Mets hold the lead for long and demonstrating their own formidable offensive firepower. The back-and-forth continued into the 6th inning when the Mets reclaimed the lead. With runners on first and second, Pete Alonso, the Mets' slugging first baseman, drove in a run with a sharp single up the middle, making the score 3-2. The Dodgers manager, Dave Roberts, immediately made a pitching change, bringing in a fresh arm from the bullpen. But the damage was already done. The lead had changed hands for the second time, highlighting the intensely competitive nature of this matchup and the strategic adjustments being made on both sides. But the Dodgers, true to their reputation, were not to be outdone. In the bottom of the seventh, with the bases loaded after a series of walks and a single, Will Smith hit a sacrifice fly to deep center field, allowing the tying run to score from third. The score was now even once more at 3-3, setting the stage for a dramatic finish. Each team traded blows, neither willing to concede an inch, turning the game into a high-stakes chess match where every pitch and every at-bat carried significant weight, pushing the contest deeper into the late innings with the outcome still very much in doubt. The game remained deadlocked at 3-3, a tense stalemate that stretched into the bottom of the ninth inning. Mets closer Tanner Scott, a left-hander known for his high-velocity fastball and deceptive slider, entered the game, tasked with sending the contest into extra innings. His mission was clear: shut down the heart of the Dodgers lineup and preserve the tie. The first batter he faced, veteran outfielder Jason Hayward, worked the count patiently, drawing a walk, putting the potential winning run on base with no outs. The pressure mounted with Hayward standing on first. Next up was Santiago Espinal, who had endured a quiet night at the plate, going 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, making him an unlikely hero. The crowd, sensing the moment, rose to its feet, a collective anticipation filling the stadium, the air thick with expectation. On a 1-1 count, Scott delivered a fastball on the outer half of the plate, a pitch he hoped would induce weak contact or a groundout. Espinal, however, turned on it with perfect timing, sending a sharp ground ball screaming past the diving Mets second baseman and into right field. Hayward, running on contact from first base, rounded second aggressively and sprinted towards home plate, his eyes fixed on the prize. The right fielder, Jeff McNeil, fielded the ball cleanly and quickly. But Hayward was already halfway home, his powerful stride eating up the distance. The throw to the plate was strong and accurate, but a hair late. Hayward slid in safely under the tag, his hand touching home plate just before the catcher could apply the tag. The Dodgers bench erupted in a joyous celebration, spilling onto the field to mob Espinal. His walk-off single, his first of the season, secured the dramatic 4-3 victory for Los Angels. Scott stood on the mound, head down, having given up the decisive hit in a high-pressure situation, a moment of personal frustration in a game of inches. It was a moment of unexpected redemption for Espinal and a tough, gut-wrenching loss for Scott and the Mets, decided by a single, well-placed hit against a formidable closer. This dramatic 4-3 walk-off victory for the Los Angeles Dodgers adds another indelible chapter to the storied Mets versus Dodgers rivalry. It wasn't a dominant performance by any measure, but rather a gritty, hard-fought win that showcased the Dodgers' unwavering ability to close out tight games under immense pressure. For the New York Mets, it represents a frustrating and painful loss, one that underscores the razor-thin margins that often decide these high-stakes matchups. They battled fiercely, taking the lead twice throughout the game, and received strong performances from their key players, but ultimately couldn't hold on in the decisive ninth inning. The two teams are scheduled to meet again next month for another 3-game series, and this particular game will undoubtedly fuel the fire and intensity of those upcoming contests, adding another layer of anticipation. The Dodgers now hold a 2-1 series lead against the Mets this season, a significant advantage that could have implications for potential playoff seeding and home field advantage down the line, making every future game even more critical. Fans eagerly looking for where to watch Mets versus Dodgers next will undoubtedly mark their calendars, anticipating another thrilling encounter where revenge will be on the Mets' minds. This game proved that even without a bench-clearing brawl or a controversial umpire's call, the inherent intensity and competitive spirit of this rivalry remain as strong as ever. It was a game decided by execution in the clutch, a single, perfectly timed swing from Santiago Espinal, and a single, ill-fated pitch from Tanner Scott. The memory of this ninth-inning walk-off will be fresh for both sides, serving as both motivation and a painful reminder when these two historic franchises face off again. The rivalry continues, with each game building on the last, promising more drama ahead.